Now, this is absolutely brilliant. This is Loai al-Sharif, right here. He was born in Saudi Arabia. Of course, he was born into an Islamic family and a neighborhood, and he was told since childhood that the Jews are bad, Jews are evil, you need to hate them, they hate the non-believers, as in the Islamic side. That's how he grew up. But of course, he's now grown up and he's done his own work. He is now promoting peace among people from all around the world. He's fighting against the fake news coming from the Islamic world. He criticizes the Islamists and, of course, all those who are anti-Semitic in general. This article actually said, I used to hate Israel, but now I campaign for peace. But I have a video to show you guys because he was brave enough to actually go on stage and call out the Muslim world for their anti-Semitism, but actually to explain, to debunk the claims about the Jewish land, Israel and Israelites. Because obviously the narrative is that, the Jews came from Europe and took the land from the Palestinians. Like, who were the Palestinians? That is the key question. Let's go to Loai al-Sharif.
The biggest misinformation that we have in our region is that not so many people are relating Israel existence to the 3,000 years old of history. They are considering Israel as a white European imperialist project. The Jews are foreign colonialists from Europe, not indigenous people who lived in this region for very long, not are the people who the prophets and kings that we revere and honor are their ancestors. We don't have, we keep disconnecting that. So yeah, and I always say that it has to be reinforced in a way that would tell the world that the Jews are indigenous to this land, because where does the word Jew come from?
Right.
The word Jew comes from Judea. They were never called the Jews before the Babylonian exile. They were called the Israelites. But when the Babylonians inquired about their origins, the Israelites in Babylonia said, we come from Judea, we are the Jews. And why was it called Judea? Because when Joshua bin Nun conquered the land, partitioned the land, he named that land, he named that part of the land on the fourth son of Jacob, Judah. This is why the Jews in Israel still call it Yehuda v'Shimron, Judea and Samaria. If your ancestors were brought from the portion of the land that would call Binyamin, you would now be called the Binyaminites, not the Jews. So understanding history is very important, especially the biblical history, and I believe there's a big gap in that.
Absolutely spot on. And there are so many people now in Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, many of these countries who are, obviously, they might have been born into these sort of families and believing in that Islamic toxic ideology, especially when it comes to the anti-Semitic rhetoric, but they're all getting out of it. And in fact, we have people from Saudi Arabia and UAE repeatedly warning us in the West, do not do self-harm. You've opened your door to chaos when it comes to mass migration and multiculturalism coming from the Islamic world. And listen to us. We've been trying to do a crackdown, and we have done a crackdown. And you can see other countries that fell, including Iran in 1979, when the Islamic occupiers took control. But these people don't get it. The Western liberal leftists don't get it. The globalist agenda doesn't care about your feelings. Anyway, if you talk about these things, you will get cancelled, but we don't care, and we will always support anybody who tells the truth. In fact, we have our latest documentary coming out this Sunday, the 6th of April, called Cancelled. You can watch this by going on Tousi TV+. Use the promo code cancelled10 to get 10% off annual memberships when you go on tousi.tv. You can find the link in the description as well. This is a limited offer. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Maya Tousi, and we are the media.